that I got a check issued to me in Hawaii, and because I'm no longer in Hawaii and I haven't been there in a while, the check wasn't cashed. And I had direct deposit originally, but it didn't go through because I guess before that last payment went through, it was like my PTO stuff. My PTO payment went through. They canceled my they canceled my direct deposit. Anyway. So it's been over a year since I left that company. And listen to this. They gave me a call and they said, hey, we just wanted to let you know that you never cashed this check. And we wanted to reach out to you because if you do not reply to us, then we're going to have to give it to the state of Hawaii as like unclaimed property. And they sent me an email. I get so many emails, and this actually went to my junk folder that I didn't see it. They gave me a call, and I was so appreciative of it. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that this large company reached out to me, gave me a call after they sent me emails trying to just tell me like, oh yeah, make sure that you give us your address and so we can give you this payment. And they were so friendly. That's one thing I really liked about the old place that I worked at. Everybody was so nice, so friendly. It was also mostly a union job, so everybody is like in a good mood. It's not like working for a health insurance place. I used to work at a health insurance place prior to this place, and that place sucked balls. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I would never, ever, ever work for a health insurance place ever again because they metric the yin yang out of you, and it's basically holding a weapon at your throat. And they're like, "Oh, you better be grateful you have a job," and things like that. I was like under so much stress in my the previous employer to that yeah, it was just a terrible, terrible situation. So this company that I used to work for, it was just so nice to hear how happy they were. And it wasn't just even all about payroll stuff. I asked them how Hawaii is, and they told me it's warm and things like that. And you could just tell like a person like that, they're working from home, but they were very happy with what they were doing. So anyway, what I'm trying to get at is this. It's really something, and I think it's very important to work at a good company, because if you do not work at a good company and you're freaking miserable, it shows. Like, it really does show, and people can hear like they can hear when people are happy doing their job and when they're just like pissed off and they're like, frick, I got to do this kind of stuff. Um, a little insight into the old insurance place I worked at. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's really well known in Hawaii. And it is one of those places that from the outside, like, their customer service is really good, but their employees is treated like absolute dog poop. I knew people that they would cry at work. I personally had to leave that job because I was so stressed out from that job that I had to get checked for ulcers. Yeah, like I had to it was really bad. Like, I was breaking out in like eczema or like rashes all over my upper arms, and it was just terrible. So yeah, if you're in a really shitty work environment and you work health insurance, just know you should leave that piece of crap job. If it just wasn't worth it. And it's been what? It's been like, how many years? I think like 4 years since I left that company or so, and I don't regret it one bit. It's just, I feel bad for the people who used to work at that insurance company, actually. So it's a health insurance company. I'll say this, it's under Anthem, and that's all I'm gonna say. Anthem Insurance, and it's very easy to piece out what company it is. My personal experience with that company, I would not even send my worst enemy to work at that place. And if you read the Glassdoor reviews, at least from the time that I was working there, you'd see them getting so much freaking 1 stars and stuff. And the person who gave them like 5 stars was like the social media coordinator. I'm like, yeah, good job. Yeah, you're a real smooth media coordinator, saying, yeah, this is a great company to work for. It's amazing, that kind of stuff like that. Anyway, so um, health insurance customer service for that company was really good, but how they treated the employees, absolutely terrible. Every experience that I've heard from people who worked at that company, it was just basically dog poop. Yeah, I have nothing good to say about that company at all. 40% of the team that I worked with left in 1 month because it was that horrendous. It was when they have like open enrollment and stuff like that, it's just terrible for health insurance plans. I'm sure now, I don't know how things are with, the situation, but I imagine it's not that great because for a lot of these companies, they're packed to the gills. You're sitting right in front of another person, and with the social distancing stuff, I don't know if they're working from home or not. I can't imagine they're working from home. I think you actually do need to process paperwork. So I can't see how that'd be working out. But if you know what's good for you, I would not work for a health insurance company. I would not recommend it at all. Work for a place where uh, I'm a big fan of like unions. I think unions are really great. I think that if you treat your employees well, you will have, of course, less turnover, right? And when you have less turnover, it's easier for everybody. Oh, this is Oreo. He's hard at working with. Yeah, he worked there for 45 minutes. I lasted there a lot longer than 45 minutes. So this is Oreo. We got Blackberry somewhere. We got Clinton somewhere too. So yeah, it's just yeah. I didn't work in sales. I worked with answering people's like enrollment questions and processing this kind of stuff and billing. It was really stupid because for that company, they had basically only 3 or 4 people assigned to the freaking phones to answer billing questions, like primarily, right? And you got like 22,000 freaking members. So when you have that much thing, right, and you get like an influx of calls, it just like it can get overwhelming, and then you got other people answering the phones, but then you're metriced up the yin yang. They want each call lasting about 3 minutes. It was insanity. And I remember my family members, they were like, oh Erica, you're just making this like, this is not a big deal, it can't be that stressful. I remember like I was in a relationship during that time, and my boyfriend at the time said he thought I was bipolar because he could not understand why this job was so stressful. I would basically I would be happy when I'm not working, and then after I'm done with work I'd just be so exhausted. I'd be like crabby and things like that because all day I'm just dealing with people's problems. Like I had people who were like I would have to be okay, so I had to accept incoming calls, and then I had to also make outgoing calls for collection. So this company, even though they had a bunch of money, they had the people making who were answering the calls make the collections calls. And you can kind of understand, like, okay, I understand that they want to be efficient, but that's probably not a good thing to kind of like squeeze your employees dry, sort of thing. So I had to do non-payment for these people. I had to reach out to them. I had to hear people cry on the phone and yell at me and tell me that they couldn't make payments for their premiums. I was like, I just want to tell you, you're already like, I think it was like 3 months in arrears, so we're gonna have to cancel your policy unless you can pay up. And we don't work with payment plans. We need you to pay the full amount, or we're gonna cancel your coverage. And there was this one woman that I spoke to, absolutely heartbreaking. She told me that her husband had handled all their financial affairs, and she was like an older woman now. So when I called her up and I told her, hey, we need payment from you because if we don't get payment, we're going to cancel you. She told me, she just cried on the phone, and she said she's been so lost ever since her husband passed away, and she doesn't know what to do. She's been she was having a really hard time, and I understood that. I understood that, and I was on the phone with her for an hour, and I remember thinking to myself while I was answering this call, like, man, I'm absolutely gonna get effed in my metrics, because once you have a call that's 1 hour and your expectation is 3 minutes or less, right? That's gonna skew your metrics. And once you're skewed for your metrics, then your supervisor's gonna be like, how come you took so long for the call? Why did it take so long? Well, every call's supposed to be 3 minutes or less. So that was the downside of that kind of thing, and it's just very inhuman. Like you're just treating people like machines. It's like, okay, hi, this is blah 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 blah. Thank you for calling. Da, 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 how can I assist you today? And you have to go through like a call script, and you're supposed to like rush them on the phone and give them options. Like, okay, so your payment is $91. Which would you prefer? Would you want to prefer to mail us a check, or would you prefer to stop into the office, and that kind of stuff? That's for billing stuff, right? So it just sucked. But what I learned from that is this: you have some people, and this is one of the surprising things. So I used to have one of my teachers that I grew up around. She I They called in, and I knew that it was them because they had a very distinctive last name. And I remember they were yelling on the phone. They didn't know it was me because I had not spoken to them for a number of years now, right? They didn't recognize my voice. And I remember they were screaming on the phone about the freaking wait time because we were getting slammed with the Obamacare stuff. Remember that? Remember the Obamacare? Everybody had to do like the Affordable Care Act stuff. Yeah, so the wait time was crazy. And instead, this is how idiotic this company was, okay? So they were getting an influx of calls, people in for like group plans or so. And they were getting so many calls that people would like mash the phone tree trying to get another person. And so you would get people from other departments hearing calls because people would be like, I waited on the phone for 2 hours. Why the hell isn't anybody answering the phone? You'd be like, oh, we're so sorry. We have an influx of calls right now. And it's just really freaking stressful. So the idiotic management, and I can say this, right? This company is a piece of shit, in my opinion. I will never ever recommend anybody work there, and I don't care what people say, because there are more people who don't like this company who are actual employees than who do work there and are like, oh, I love this company so much, it's amazing. So this company was so bad that what they did is they had this bright idea, the genius 5-star idea. They said, we're going to have an answering machine. So they had this answering machine, right? You know what happens? They get like 2-week backlogs of calls because they're saying instead of waiting on the phone, you can leave a message and someone will give you a call back. And you get a call back like 2 or 3 weeks later. And by then, people are pissed off, right? Because they're like, what the man? You're giving me a call now? You're giving me a call 2 weeks after I left this message, and then you just get like, you just get like the verbal assault over the phone. And they were so short staffed, right? They had people from other departments helping out, even though those departments don't have access to those systems. So it's like, okay, we don't want to really spend the money to have things outsourced, so we're going to ask other departments to do it internally and help our spillover while they also have to take in their own calls. You get what I'm saying? It was just terrible. I mean, like, it was skeletal, as one of my coworkers would have said. It was just skeletal. It was terrible. They had a great PR thing. They had social media being like, oh, it's amazing working over here. It's great. On Fridays you can wear you don't have to wear a uniform or anything. You can wear jeans. It's just terrible. So anyway, I know I got blacklisted from that company for sure. But I don't really care. I don't really care. It's just like, I told so many people, I said, do not work for that company. Because if you work for that company, you're going to hate life. You're going to wonder why you're depressed. You're going to wonder why this kind of stuff happened. And here's the other thing too, right? Here's the other thing too. So when I went to my private care doctor, I went to my doctor, and my doctor is a physician, right? My doctor was telling me, oh, they heard about this kind of stuff happen. My doctor recommended that I quit that company because he realized like I wasn't getting any better. I was having really bad gastritis. It was terrible. Like, I've never had so much bad stomach pain in my life. It was crippling pain. It's like I was on medication, and I'd just be like, why am I waking up with such bad acid reflux? I've never had acid reflux that bad in my life. So my doctor, after like a couple months of this, finally tells me, yeah, Erica, I'm going to recommend that you quit due to health reasons. And I've seen this before in other employees. So when I heard that, I was like, really? And they said, yeah, he's seen that in other employees of the company, but those people refused to quit their job. So they had like a whole host of health problems, but it wasn't unusual. And that's the problem. Like when you work for a toxic work environment that just, just works you to the bone, and then they just, the metrics just get higher and higher and higher. It's just terrible. And they gave you additional duties. And I remember they got rid of one person on my team, and instead of hiring a new person, you know what they did? They decided to spread it out among the team members so they could save money. It was just terrible move. So I had to do more responsibility, and I didn't get paid more for that additional responsibility. And my dumb butt, because I was just out of college during that time, I thought, oh man, I guess this is how work life is supposed to be. This is how jobs are going to be. I should be grateful. Like my supervisor said, I was the person, college graduate with no healthcare experience, kind of stuff. But yeah, I look back at that period of my life and I realize it was a terrible, terrible period of my life. I'm happy I got away from it. And hearing from the previous company that I worked for, not this scumbag healthcare insurance company, it just made me think, yeah, I'm happy that I worked for a company as good as that one, really top tier. I have nothing bad to say about that company. Every single person that I knew at that company, they liked their job, and the turnover was low, and like I said, a lot of it was union based. So yeah, it made me happy to hear that the person who gave me a call was in a good mood, and they seemed like they were enjoying their day, and it wasn't like they were getting tricked up the yin yang. So yeah, let me see. Oh, so Meme's birthday is on Friday. I hope you have a really wonderful birthday. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I hope you stay warm. And I hope your wishes come true, whatever those wishes are. I hope they're positive wishes at least. So anyway, I have been looking online, and I have been hearing things about people saying, unemployment is high. I heard that that's what's going on in Hawaii. So the person that I was speaking to on the phone told me that there is a lot of unemployment claims, and not all of them's going through. Allegedly, I don't know if this is right or not, but allegedly the state of Hawaii is not really paying out unemployment for a number of people, and that's causing some stressors. And it's because, if the employers don't respond, or if not all the information is filled out, then yeah, how do you really get unemployment? And um it just it causes issues like that. So I don't know, like for Hawaii, it's not a good place to live or work right now. Hawaii, as you guys know, is primarily based or focused on tourism, right? And tourism, as you can imagine, is not that great right now. Like, I don't really remember the restaurants in Hawaii too much, but I do know a lot of the restaurants, it was like indoor dining only, because you don't have the luxury of doing outdoor dining. Space is kind of a premium. Even though we live on an island, it is a very small island. You might have a place like Ala Moana Shopping Center. I don't know. I think they're doing indoor dining, but it's you got that 6 foot apart sort of thing going on. So yeah, hotels must be absolutely taking a beating. And yeah, I just feel bad for whoever's in the retail sector. I know a few people who are in the retail sector. I don't really want to ask them too much about their jobs in Hawaii. Like, hey, I know you're probably getting a tough time, but how's your job doing right now? Are you in? How is sales doing right now? Because when people are when people lose their jobs, or when they're low on cash, the first thing they want to do is cut retail spending, right? You're not going to want to buy clothes from, let's say, Macy's so much if you're on limited funds. So when stores aren't making that much money, what they're going to do is they're going to cut down their workers, or cut pay maybe, and try and do that same thing as that shitty health insurance company, even though that company was making a bit of money. And I remember hearing, after we were told about watching Budget. Okay, here's the other thing. So when I was working for the healthcare insurance company, we had to watch Budget. And you know what the thing is? The CEO got paid like over $1 million. And I was like, what the hell? So while it's getting shoved down our brains, like, hey, watch the overtime. Yeah, we know you're short staffed, but watch the overtime. You got to think about the budget. CEO makes over $1 million, while the people who are, at work, they have to always keep in mind for the overtime thing. And then the other thing too that people didn't know is that a lot of the time it's like you have a certain, the standards for that insurance company was so freaking high, and after like 4 o'clock we were supposed to log, we were supposed to, I think it was like four, I think it was like 5 or 6 o'clock, we were supposed to like log out, and the whole expectation that other people on the team was doing was just work off the clock. So I remember there was like several times it was like you just be working off the clock because, well, you got a job you got to do, and if management doesn't want to pay you, or if you don't want to get in trouble and you got all this work you got to do, then you got to work off the clock. And that was one of the dumbest things I've ever done. I can't believe I worked off the clock, but you have to also understand that these people who were working off the clock were older than me. And when I see that, and when they're telling you, yeah, like work off the clock, you just assume like, okay, I have to work off the clock too. So yeah, it absolutely sucked. And it's just one of those like experiences. Like I wouldn't realize how shitty it is to work at a company like that unless I experienced it myself. And I told so many people after I left, I said, look, if you're desperate for a job, I would not recommend working for that company. There's a reason why they're always trying to hire. I spoke to someone who worked at a staffing agency too, and they told me, listen to this, they told me that company, that insurance company, had a hard time getting people to stay on the job. You know why? Because their expectations are too high. And I was like, bullshit. It's not it's not really just their expectations. It's not that workers are lazy with paying like, they have so point that it got to a point where it's just like I was like charting out my day. I was getting micromanaged by the minute. And they said, Erica, I want to know everything you're doing throughout the day because I don't understand how come you're not accomplishing more. And I looked through it and it's like every single minute it's like I'm doing something. It's like, okay, I spent 2 minutes answering a question that someone has. I get off the phone and then I'm doing documentation. And, it's just like I looked at it. I was like, where the hell am I going to cut? What the hell? It's not like I'm fiddling my fingers around or anything like that. But yeah, it's just like when you have management have such a clear disconnect from what the employees do, it's easy to get to that point where, oh yeah, like, well, I don't understand. How come you can't do more? It's easy to say that when you don't do the job yourself. You get what I'm saying? So they know that their employees are doing, and because they know that, you have managers who, when their team needs help, the manager will still step and help out the team rather than just bark orders to their team like the health insurance company did. So that was a terrible situation. Yeah, so it just sucked. And I was speaking to someone, you guys might have heard about this one, but there was this one person who I used to work with, and his name was Terry. And Terry had worked for the company for many years. I think he worked there for like 15 or 20 years, okay? So I remember, like, as stressed out as Terry was, he always had a very kind smile. He always had a very kind face. And I kind of kept in touch with Terry, once every few months after I left that job, because I thought to myself, Terry, he's close to retirement age. I know Terry is going to be retiring in like 5 years. And I remember he was so stressed out, but he told me, he said, Erica, it's just 5 more years. I just have to wait 5 more years and then I can retire and everything will, he can collect retirement benefits. So after I left, there were a few times like I gave him a call and asked him like how he's been doing, and just having really short conversations. And I remember like I said like I was gonna make him lilikoi bars, and then I forgot to bring it over to the company. It just like it slipped my mind, and I thought, okay, no big deal, Erica. Next time you see him, you can talk to him. I'm sure he's not he's not that hung up on him now. About 6 months later, I go past the company and I see Terry's work partner. And I said, "Oh, hi, how's Terry doing?" And she's like, "Oh, Erica, oh, you didn't hear about Terry?" And I was like, "No, what happened to Terry?" And she told me that Terry had a stroke. He went blind, and he was forced into early retirement. And I think it was like complications of diabetes, but I'm sure that the workplace stress also didn't help out the situation. And when I found out he had passed away, my heart just sank, because at that point, I was already out from the company and I got to see how life was outside of the company. And it just really saddened me, because here's this person, he put such a strong face. He never, even if he was having a really shitty day, I remember he never snapped at people. He always was like just so happy to see other people. Like he would not let his workplace stress get to him. And he told me like they were overwhelmed with work. Like as the years had gone by, management from his department kept giving him more and more work. So when I heard about that, I thought to myself like, oh crap, like it was just like for him to work at a company and see it progressively get worse and worse and worse, or more and more higher standards. It just made me think like he was looking so forward to retirement. And after retirement happened, when he could see the finish line, right? 5 years, he didn't even get to retirement. When he did get into forced retirement, he lost his eyesight. He lost his eyesight. He was immobile. And I was just, when I heard about what happened, I thought, holy crap, I had no idea that happened to him. I was gonna, when I was hoping that when he retired, he would throw a party, and then I would, say, I'm so happy for you, Terry, and things like that. And it didn't happen. So yeah, after what I heard about Terry's passing, I thought to myself, if anybody is in a shitty work environment, you owe it to yourself to get out of that job, because that kind of job, if you stay too long, it can kill you. It can kill you mentally, it can kill you physically, and it can kill you emotionally. The time that I worked at that job, it was terrible for me. It was absolutely terrible. I remember telling people, oh, hello there, Ori. I remember telling people like I would never ever ever go back to that job. Even if I had no other job prospects, I would never go back to that job, because it was just that kind of job you don't look forward to waking up. That's how bad it was. And it was just because you hear problem after problem. Your management is not behind you. You always get threatened with things. Basically, the whole team is always under the threat of not meeting standards, because, well, who the hell is good enough for that job, right? Like nobody seems to be good enough to these metrics that just go higher and higher and higher. And if you want, if the additional duties as assigned, they can just overload stuff on you, and they'll be like, well, what are you gonna do, huh? Are you gonna leave? Yeah, so that job was absolutely terrible. Again, if you guys ever look into a company, health insurance company, my suggestion is do not work for a health insurance company. If you notice that there are jobs out there, they always seem to have openings. There is a reason why. There is a reason why they have those openings. It's because the turnover is so freaking high, and people who respect themselves, who know that they can do better, just walk out of there, or they reach their breaking point and they're like, screw it, I don't wanna work there ever again. So yeah, I've told many people this. I've told many people like, do not work there. Do not work there at all. Yeah. And allegedly this, right? Allegedly there was this person. I don't know if this is real or not. This is just allegedly, but allegedly someone jumped off the building, and I was like, what? Yeah, so can you imagine it? You're so depressed at your freaking job that you jump off your building, and I was like, what? God, like that is. And there was another person while I was working there. And allegedly, they had a heart attack on the job, and I was like, well, not surprising. I heard that there was a jumper, and I heard that someone had a heart attack. What is the common factor here? Hmm. Hmm. So, yeah, it's just it's not good. But if you hear about like the how what social media says about the health insurance company, like, oh, this is a great company. It's an amazing place to work. I love working here. I love, being a part of this community. It's just a pile of bullshit. Don't ever believe that kind of stuff unless they got rid of like the CEO or management. I wouldn't believe that at all. Yeah, it was just brutal. And then you also see a lot of two-faced people, people who kiss ass uh to other people. And oh, here's another thing. Here's some other dirt from my company. So there was this one person who used to work in my really? Health insurance company? I wouldn't be surprised if he worked at a health insurance. Like I said, do not work for a health insurance company. If I know it's not good for me to blanket statement this, but I would not recommend working for a health insurance company. I would recommend working for a union job, of course, but not a health insurance company. It's like that. Those places are brutal. Yeah, it's not good. Like it might sound like, oh, it must be easy, you don't have to bring your work home. There's just so much pressure um for those health insurance companies. And I invested in that health insurance company, the parent company, because I thought to myself, well, I know this is going to sound evil, but I thought to myself, if they're going to squeeze that much work out of their employees, shouldn't the stock price be like a lot higher? And then I look at that company versus like other ones like UHA or the other ones out there, and I'm like, shit, the stock never grew up that much. Must be everybody's quitting or something. I don't know. The stock price didn't pay out as well as I thought it would, and I was pretty I thought like, well, okay, it's not like they can cut out their employees. I know that for a fact. So I knew for a fact, like, I can't say it's administrative expense causing this company to go under, right? Because I used to work at one of the subsidiaries. So yeah, if it's not employee, it's not administrative things. Must be, I don't know. Maybe people just don't have much faith into it. It depends on the department that you work in. No, not really. A lot of the departments sucked. I spoke to the people in the other departments, and they agreed that it sucked. So yeah, it just sucked all around. You marketing. Marketing was under a lot of pressure. I remember like I went over there. I had to go over to that insurance company to ask a question about something, and you know what I did? I actually like this was a few years after I left. And I spoke to someone in marketing because they're always into sales, and I forgot why I went over to that health insurance company, but I had to go there for a reason. But anyway, so I went over there, and the way it's set up is like they have these glass rooms. Yeah, it's really aesthetic. They make it look really nice. Glass rooms, glass windows. So I don't know. Maybe they think that you can't hear the sound of the employees crying. Who knows? But anyway, anyway, um, it was just glass, or maybe the supervisors want to see what the lips of the employees are saying. I don't know. But anyway, so I remember I was talking to an employee, and I asked them about it. I said, "Oh, are I said, I see you're still using this system." And I told them like I used to work there, and then I'm like, "How is it over here?" And they basically tell me that they're under a lot of stress and things like that. I'm like, "Yeah, it sucks. I know it sucks." And I was just, you could tell that they were trying to be professional, but based on what they were saying and their eyes, I was like, "You poor thing." Just know that there's a light on the other side. You don't have to stay with this shitty company. And I went in there with like zero fucks given. I was like, what are they gonna do? you know. But yeah, it's like when I talk to the employees, if you can catch them alone, you can ask them like, do you like working here? Like, because I know it sucks working over here. And yeah, let's see here. IT. I don't remember how the IT department worked. I really don't remember the IT department. That company needs more aloha. That company was just it was just terrible. Like they on the outside facing, they have a lot of aloha. They do have this marketing campaign. It's like I said, it's not hard to find this company if you're curious to know which one it is. Um, but yeah, it just absolutely sucked. It just sucked so bad. um, yeah, it was gosh, it's like one of those repressed memories that I never want to remember kind of thing. But you know, they say like sometimes you have to go through a lot of shit in life to see how sweet life can be. And the company that I worked after that crappy health insurance company, I was like, wow, it's such a great place. Everybody cares. They're so nice. Oh. And then yeah, I just got a call from someone from payroll, and they were so warm, so friendly, and it was just like, oh, I'm happy to know the good company is still really good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I think that the thing is like when you have a company that is just driven so skeletal, and let's say they have a diverse pool of people to pick from, they can honestly say like, you know, we're always doing hiring. If you don't want the job, like, we're just gonna get someone else. And the problem with management, now that I can look back at it, is management was very short-sighted, because you would basically hold things to people's, you know, necks, right? And tell them basically they're expendable. But the problem is that because management was so out of touch with things, they never understood how much each employee had to know. So you had to learn a lot of stuff really quick, all these systems. And if you have turnover, you have this you know you have this revolving door. And allegedly when I quit my job, my supervisor was so pissed off that I left. You know what they did? All the training manuals that I put together, and I had it on my desk so other employees could refer to it. Like I used to actually document processes and put little post-its, and I would say like step 1, step 2, step 3. That way if someone asked me a question, I could say, look at this post-it or look at this documentation. You don't have to ask me, you can see exactly how to do this stuff. Allegedly that person threw it all away. So my supervisor, who was hired a few months before I left, was so pissed off. Allegedly they threw this all that documentation away, and they threw away stuff that was could not be replaced. And when I mean could not be replaced, it was stuff that was compiled by other previous employees, and they just like lumped threw away my stuff. So yeah, it was just kind of like, really, you're not gonna ask other employees like, hey, is this important documentation? Like, can you guys use this stuff? But no, it's just like they went into some blind rage, and it was just very, very childish. And now when I think about it, like that old supervisor, allegedly he had like 900 people underneath him, and I was thinking to myself like, how the hell do you go from 900 people down to like 10 people, right? Like, how do you get to that level? Like, why do you downgrade to that level? Like, okay, yeah, I used to have 900 people underneath me. I used to oversee them, and now I only oversee like 10 people. Strange. Very, very strange. Yeah, you got people who are just so out of touch with things, and they just think people are expendable. And when people think they are expendable to that extent, it just makes management look really stupid. But they didn't last very long. So that supervisor that was signed on board a few months before I left, they were gone within a year, it seemed. I don't know, like that for that guy to come to Hawaii, and it's just terrible. It was just, yeah. He went from, I don't know how his life was in another state, but for him to come to Hawaii and work with that company and leave pretty afterwards, it's just kind of embarrassing. That's just my opinion though. That's just my opinion. Okay, see you, Taran. Yeah. But also you got some people in management, like the only thing they know how to do is threaten. What was the job? So I was a, oh, I forgot what the title was, but it was I had to do billing. So I don't remember the exact title over here, but it was like something advocate of sorts. And I had to do enrollments, I had to answer billing questions, I had to process federal plans. I had to do like senior plans as well. And I mean, like, it seems really easy, right? It's like, oh, how hard can that freaking be? But there was just a lot of drama. I remember there was this one uh, employee that worked there, a coworker of mine, and she was so nice. She was so sweet, and she told me working in that insurance company was worse than working in the army. She found it more difficult to work for that insurance company than being in the army. And she was an army vet. She went through some real tough stuff, and for her psychologically that insurance company was worse for her. So I think that's really telling, because she cried at least once at that insurance company, and now she's in a much better place. She's last time I heard about her, she's married and she moved off Hawaii, and she looks as radiant as can be. So I'm very, very happy that that pile of crap is behind her. And yeah, I mean that my coworker, the one who worked for the army. I mean, she was so classy. You could tell she was a strong woman, but she was also pretty sensitive as well. And for her to have all that kind of stress, and it just wasn't worth it. Oh, really, Mary? When I was a banker, exactly all you said happened. No idea how people stay there for 30 years. Yeah, the thing is like you also have people who try to use you as a punching bag. I remember there was one time that I gave a call to someone and they made fun of me because they said like you sound really young, and I was like about 23, I think 23, 24 at the time or so. I can't remember my exact age, but yeah, so they said that, and then they also said I sounded fake on the phone. I was just like, okay. And you got some people who would just take out their aggression on you for no apparent reason. They would try to belittle you. I've had people try to threaten to sue me, and it's because they weren't happy with their plan, and I just so happened to answer the phone, so I didn't sell them the plan or anything. I wasn't in charge of the claims, but because I answered the phone, they were like, I need your name. I want to know who you are because I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna have a lawsuit put against you and your company. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, hold up a second. I didn't offer. Hold up a second, like what? And you can't tell people that you like if someone asks for your last name, it's between a rock and a hard place, because you got some people who are like, I demand to know your last name because I pay for your salary. I pay for your job because I pay my monthly premium. So you got people who think that they own you because of that. And I'm like, okay, oh, like, geez. Or one person screamed at me, and they're like, oh, so I want to talk to the CEO. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, oh, so you will direct me to the CEO? I can talk to the CEO right now. And I'm like, I was just like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to think on my feet. And then later on, they call me a liar, and they said that, oh, so you told me I could talk to the CEO. Why can't I talk to the CEO right now? You see what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things, and that's why when I hear about what goes on at these places, and when I hear about like this bad customer service experience, or when I hear about how people speak to others on the phones, that's why, like, for me, I always treat people, whether it be the cashier, the stock person, the Amazon customer service person. If I'm agitated, I make it apparent like I'm not agitated at them. I'm just, I want to figure out a solution, but I don't take my aggression out on that person, because I've been in that situation where I have been that mental punching bag for people, and if people are having a bad day, they will just say stuff to me, and they feel like they have no repercussions because they don't know who I am. And it's embarrassing when I do happen to speak to people that I do actually know, but they don't realize it's me. And it changes my perception of them. So, like I shared before, the person, one of my old teachers, I knew it was them 100% because they have a very distinctive last name. And the way that I was being spoken to at the phone, it just ruined every single image that I had of this person. I had spent a number of years being a student of this person. I thought, holy crap, you're taking out all this frustration on me. And you don't even realize, like, you think I'm a nobody, but you don't even realize, like, I was a student of yours for a number of years. And to hear that kind of stuff just, it just broke my heart. But I never let it on, and they didn't recognize my voice because I had not spoken to them for a number of years. There was also another person in Hawaii. He's like a TV host or TV chef on this thing called OC16 channel 16. If you guys are from Hawaii, and this one person, listen to this. So he I think his one of his like relatives needed some help with something, and they wanted us to expedite it for their relative. And this person's like, I'm an entrepreneur, I have my own TV show, and I just want you to know who I am because I'm a celebrity kind of thing. And I'm like, what the, I've never heard of this guy in my freaking life. Okay, I look him up, and I look him up, and I'm like, oh, so he's that guy on OC16. And by the way, it's not Tiny Tadani. If you guys think this is Tiny Tadani, it's not him. But he was this guy on OC16. He's kind of like a host of a TV show, and I was just like flabbergasted. I was like, this guy tries to come off as so friendly, such a people person, but when you see how he speaks to people that he views as beneath him, it just ruins it. And every time I see this guy on, like when I saw him on TV or something, I'm disgusted by it because I'm like, I know exactly how this guy acts. Like, you act so nice and warm and friendly. You have this like TV persona, like you're a good guy and everything. But when you actually interact with a person like that, they're just full of ego, trying to push their weight around. And I hate people like that. I hate people who when they see someone beneath them, they try to use their celebrity power to get their way. And like I said, this person was on OC16. If you guys watch Hawaii channels, this is not like ABC News. This is not like one of the big Fox News. It's like a local TV station channel. Okay, local TV station channel. So it's like a local host of sorts. And just really disappointing. Yeah. Yeah. So you try to play the nice guy, try to be like I'm for the little guys, or I'm a likable person, and then you end up being a total asshole. And I can't respect that. I can't respect that at all. And seeing that kind of thing, it's like, geez. And I hate it when you got people who are just trying to, who are just like, so like they show off one side to people, and then they show that on TV, and then when you actually interact with them, they're pieces of shit. I really think that people need to be kind of like the same across the board. Treat people with respect. If for certain people, like you see celebrities, you hear about what was it? Oh, for instance, right? Ellen DeGeneres. Remember Ellen DeGeneres? She had this whole kindness project, or be kind and things like that. And then it finds out she was like absolutely terrible to her employees. Allegedly, they weren't even supposed to look at her. And I'm like, that's freaking terrible. So sometimes you got these people who preach kindness and they try to be all these good people, and then when you actually interact with them in person, or if you're an employee, it's like, God, these people just say one thing, but they actually in reality they're a lot different than that. So, yeah. No. Sounds like I weren't properly trained. Okay, here's the thing. You were okay, so here's the thing. You cannot, you can, okay, so you can take control of the conversation and you can say stuff like, if you curse out, if you curse at me, I'm gonna hang up the phone. I have every right to give hang up the phone, but that doesn't prevent them from calling back. And then you got an escalation. It turns into, how dare you hang up the phone on me? Da, 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 da. Like, I didn't realize how psychologically taxing working in an environment like that would be, because you got people who with rage issues, you got people who with dementia, you got people who are hard of hearing, and there are times like I'm screaming on the phone telling people how much their bill is or how much they pay, and they're like, what, I can't hear you, and I'm just screaming louder and I'm telling them to put up the volume. And when it comes down to it, right, it's like, if I they can't hear me, then that's a me problem, not a their problem, because this is customer service. So yeah, customer is always right, sort of thing. So yeah, I learned a lot from that experience. And I really hate it when people use customer service people as punching bags. I think that you can be pissed off at policy, but do not try to belittle people. Do not try to make fun of people, and do not go out of your way to make people feel like crap. Because if you are on the phone with someone, you might say like, haha, look at that loser on the phone answering my questions. Ah, what a loser, that kind of thing. Like, you might feel good and powerful, but that person who's on the other half, that had to hear your emotional, or verbal abuse, they have to answer another call. And it's not like they can get the downtime to like refocus. It's like one call after another call, and they got something else to do. So those people who answer like calls, you might think that all they do is they just like answer the phone or file their nails. There's a lot of stuff going on in the back. It's not just answering the calls, it's documenting, it's enrolling, it's processing stuff. It's like you're taking a break from what you're doing to answer the call and then document, and then right after you get off the call, you might get another call coming in, and so you're always getting interrupted. Mm. It depends. Like, sometimes I think if people are famous, then if they don't want to interact with fans, and they could just have this whole thing like, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to sign autographs. I just want my space. And you can kind of understand. Like, if you are a celebrity and you're very, very recognizable and you get hounded for autographs or pictures, like, you're going to come off to an asshole to someone if you say no. Someone could approach, let's say if you're a celebrity and you just want some time alone by yourself, and you have all these people like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's you, I love your music. Yeah, if you tell them no, or if you tell them like, I don't want to take a picture with you, but like, why are you such an asshole, I just want one picture. And then that's how that kind of rumor spread. So people who are celebrities are entitled to their privacy too. I strongly believe that. And if they don't get their privacy, then they end up snapping, and depending on how much they're photographed, they can come off as a complete jerk. The press will be like, "Oh, look at this singer who makes millions of dollars. Like, look, they snapped at a fan. They're a terrible person," and blah 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 blah. Yeah. Mm. Oh, jeez. Oh. Yeah. But anyway, I'm just happy that experience is behind me. I'm really happy that I don't have to deal with that kind of stuff anymore. To any of you guys who are in customer service, who are having a difficult time with customers, my heart goes out to you. It, for me, like when I was doing that kind of stuff, it was like one of the most miserable times in my whole freaking life. I didn't look forward to the day. I was really depressed. I had a lot of anxiety. I was breaking out in itchy patches. I think it was called follicular eczema. And I remember the doctor who looked at it told me there was no cure for it. They said like, oh, we can give you like some kind of, I think it was a steroid cream. But there's no cure for it at all. And coincidentally, weirdly enough, when I quit that job, it just disappeared. So I know that having a high stress level definitely contributed to me breaking out with that kind of rash. These were big patches all over my arms. Yeah, it was terrible. So you wake up, you're itchy, and then you also have really bad stomach pain and not good things. So not good things. So yeah, mental health is very important. I would. I'm in a much better place psychologically for sure, but if would I ever take a job like that? Like 100% no. 100% no. I think like a job like that, if you're there for a really long time, at least from what I saw from my coworkers, it affects you emotionally and psychologically, and that is not a good thing to have. Yeah, I remember there was this one person, a coworker of mine. She got married while she was working for the company, and then less than a year later, she was having marital problems because she said her husband was complaining how she was always in a bad mood, and she would tell him like she's stressed out about her job, and he wouldn't understand. And, they got divorced. I don't know if it's because of that job 100%, but it's just sad. I can't help but think that one of the reasons why the marriage didn't last very long, and they had known each other for a number of years, is because she was just in a shitty mood having that job. So yeah. So sometimes if you're in a really bad work environment, it doesn't just affect you; it also affects people around you. And I know that I was just. It got to a point for me when I was working at that job. I had to. I was telling my friends like every single day, like I did not want to go to work. And I told them like I was dreading going to work because of all these issues, and I would like, it would sounds really lame when I say it like this way, but I used to leave these long voicemails while I was walking to work because I had to hype myself up to go to work, and that was the only way I could go to work. Like I would leave these long rambling voicemails, and my anxiety would be through the roof. And yeah, it like I just airing it out made me feel better. But yeah, I think my friends just deleted that voicemail because they're like, oh crap, she sounds like she's ridden with anxiety again. So mental health, very very important. Like that is not something to play around with. You guys know that I've told you guys that, yeah, sometimes like my anxiety levels got really really bad, and that's one of the reasons why I won't go vegetarian. Or vegan, because if I'm deficient in certain things, and I think it's animal fats or animal proteins, I don't know exactly what, but my anxiety goes through the roof, and then I can get really depressed. And I found that out when I changed my diet, and this is like years after I quit that job, by the way. So yeah, mental health is something that's very very important, and it can make a big difference in how you view your life, how you carry yourself through life. And the person that I am is definitely a lot stronger than the person that I was having that job, but I'm also a lot more compassionate because of it. I think that if I didn't have that experience working at that job, I wouldn't understand some things. Like when you hear about the tales from customer service, or you hear about like call center people, or you hear about people dealing with Karens, I'm thinking like, oh crap, I I feel for you, and I understand how people could like not want to go into work, or they get all this verbal abuse, or they get laughed at by customers because simply of how they sound on the phone. um, yeah, and it just, I look back at it, I'm like, oh, thank goodness that is behind me. Thank goodness. So yeah, let's see. Wow, jeez, 24/7. You know what? In New York, you got people who are really easy. It's what I noticed in New York is you got like if you live in Hawaii, people are a lot more chill. You might have a few people who will pop off, but you won't have people as quick to pop off at you like in New York. So if people feel people will mouth off really easily, and I think it's kind of apparent. Like you can see how fast some people think on their feet. I'm not one of those people at all. I'm not very, it's like my it takes me a while for the words to go into my head. But in New York, like holy crap, some people are like up in arms really freaking quickly, and it's like their mouth goes a mile a minute, and it's like they're just very quick to react. In Hawaii, does not happen. We got land of sunshine, land of waves and aloha, and you have a few assholes, but you won't find nearly as much as in New York. Go to Hawaii, see how the locals react. They basically are peace, love, chillax, stay happy, that kind of thing. You don't see that much in New York. In New York, I don't know if it's the weather or what, but people just kind of keep to themselves, and you do see a few bright spots here and there, but basically, kind of, I don't know if it's exasperated by the weather, but it gets kind of grouchy. Uh, I admire that about New Yorkers, though. They're very strong. But they can think on their feet. Oh! I forgot to tell you guys this. So, I probably told you guys this about this when I was working at the health insurance place. So, there was this one person who used to live in New York, and she worked with my team. So she was my direct coworker, right? So we were on the same position. She left that insurance job to move back to New York. And I asked her, she said she was moving to New York, and I was like, oh, if you come back to Hawaii, will you work back at this insurance place? And I remember she was giving me this look like, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? Like it was just one of those, like, are you stupid? That kind of thing. Anyway. So she moves back to New York. 1 year later, they have an opening, of course, for my position, because it's like a turnstile, and not my position, but the my counterpart positions. And then I find out that she got rehired. Now I had my gastritis thing, and I was sick, so I missed out when she had her what's it called, the first day, I forgot what you call that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like first day, your orientation, I guess orientation. So she was supposed to go to the first day orientation, and then of course when I came the next day, she wasn't there, and I didn't know that she was the new she reapplied for the position. Now what I found out from one of my coworkers is this. So New York girl, that's what I'm gonna call her, New York girl, was on really good terms with my supervisor at the before that. So she was really hardworking. She was smart. She was fast. But she had a mouth on her, and I remember that distinctively about her. She, like I said, she was very fast. She typed a lot faster than me. I'm not saying I type really slow. I type like 60 words per minute, but she was kind of on point. So I found out she I guess it didn't work out in New York. She came back to Hawaii, and she applied for the position, and she was supposed to start the previous day. Now the reason why she did not start is because at the last minute, she told my supervisor, who we believe that they were buddy buddy. She demanded more pay from my supervisor, and my supervisor said, "Get the out here." So yeah, she got the offer pulled from her, and I remember laughing, right? Because I felt like shit still. I was sick, but I remember laughing inside of my head, like, man, for how smart this New York girl is, like, she got some balls to go back to her previous workplace on the day that she's supposed to start, demand more pay from the supervisor, knowing that she already accepted the previous offer from HR. So before you start, right, you accept an offer from human resources and you sign that thing. And I guess, I don't know what it was, but she decided she didn't want that pay and she demanded more, I'm assuming. And yeah, the door hit her on her butt. So it sucked, but I just look back at it. I don't know what happened to her. I can't find her online, unfortunately. I know she's not working at that health insurance company anymore, but it sucks. It sucks. I mean, she got some real. She had some. I don't know. I looked back at it. I'm like, I wish she was smarter about that. But who knows how it would have been? She. I don't know if she got another job somewhere in Hawaii. I'm sure she did, but sucked for her. Sucked for her. So don't be like her, and don't get an offer, and then after you get an offer on the day you're supposed to start, say you want more pay, because uh, it doesn't work like that. No, you don't. Here's the thing. Like, she could have asked prior. She knew my coworker who was working there, so she could have definitely got the inside scoop before she accepted the job offer, because they were in contact. But for whatever reason, she decided to do the big brain thing and ask for more pay the day she was supposed to start. And supervisor's not going to take too kindly to that. Like, what? We already have an orientation set out for you. You're supposed to sit at this thing, and you want us to give you more pay at the last minute? No. No. So I don't know. Maybe it happens in New York. I don't know. I have to ask. I think I asked Lewis about that. He says he's never heard about that. So I don't know where that came from. And then you wouldn't apply for a job and then ask for more pay, right? Because the graceful thing to be would be, hey, I accepted the job, another job, but yeah, I'm gonna have to turn down your offer. You don't say, yeah, I want more pay. So she could have accepted a job at another offer, but why would you do it so last minute? Why would you do it day of your orientation, and then you're asking for more money? And from what I was told from that coworker, it didn't sound like she had another job lined up. So I think it was just a bluff technique of sorts. Maybe it's a New York thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a New York thing that I've never heard about. Anyway. So, oh gosh, I'm just no. I don't think so. I would have been told that. I would have been told that by that person who gave me the scoop. They would have said, yeah, she had another job lined up and she wanted to negotiate more, but it sounded like she just tried to um, get more pay out of it. I need live stream rehab, you live aholic? No way. I don't live stream that often. No, no. Hawaii doesn't have the odd lotto. I know the Hawaii. They should actually have the lotto. It generate a lot of money. Like, geez. You know what I like to do? Oreo, what would you do if you won like the Mega Millions, like $37 million, huh? What would you do, Oreo? You'd probably sleep. Quiet ship is not a happy ship. Yeah. But, uh, so I got stuff I need to do. I just wanted to talk to you guys for a little bit and share that little blurb about Hawaii happiness. Glad to know not all jobs in Hawaii suck. I'm happy that my old company is still really happy, and I think that I hope it continues. I really feel bad for people who live in Hawaii, because Hawaii is primarily based around tourism. So when you have tourism on a decline. People lose their jobs, and yeah, it is not good. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, people are having financial problems. For instance, I know a person whose whose family, or whose parent, works in the education system, and but they're not a teacher. So because they're not a teacher, and they're like a teacher's helper, I can almost guarantee you they don't have a job anymore. And because you don't have a job, right? You don't have any income. So it's one of those things. Hawaii has a volcano erupt every so often. No, no. Well, look at the cost of living, Mary, in New York. I mean, not New York, in Hawaii. Cost of living in Hawaii is crazy. It's crazy high, and one of the reasons why it's so expensive is because we have a finite amount of land. So when you have a finite amount of land, and you have a lot of people wanting to live on our island because it's nice and warm and you don't need to have a heater, it drives up the real estate prices. And that's what happened with Hawaii. Hawaii used to be kind of affordable back in like the 90s, and then the housing bubble went up. So anybody who owned property in the 90s, of course, they had a really great deal, but now, not really. Not really. So, for instance, the apartment that I live in Hawaii, it's close to $1 million, and it's I'm not $1 million, it's close to $500,000. And the reasons why it's so freaking expensive is because of the location. And never mind, it's a 2-bedroom, 1.5-bathroom place. It's expensive because, yeah, it's Hawaii. And it's crazy to see how much prices appreciated. Yeah, people in Hawaii, you have to be very frugal. From what I realize, okay, I take that back. You don't have to be really frugal in Hawaii, but it helps you a lot, because if you try to spend carelessly in Hawaii, you're gonna find that your money doesn't stretch very far. And the reason why I say that is because when you have stuff that is pretty expensive in Hawaii, you're paying more for certain things. Like avocados in Hawaii are normally about $2.39 each. If you go to if I go to like down the street to, let's say, a supermarket, usually I can get it for like two for $1.50. So 75 cents each, or like $1.50 each, or $1 each. Yeah, it's like groceries are more expensive in Hawaii. A lot of housing is more expensive in Hawaii, so you really need to be able to make your money stretch. But the weird thing is that I'm more frugal in New York than I was in Hawaii. Because over in New York, you can actually dumpster dive, and in Hawaii, you cannot dumpster dive because it's land of compactors. So that makes me really sad, because I do like dumpster diving. Yeah. So if any relatives are watching, they're like, "Oh my God, here she goes talking about dumpster diving again." No, I really like dumpster diving. It's great. A lot of the stuff that I find, I do give it away. I'm giving away a whole bunch of stuff. That I dumpster dived, and one person in particular, you remember that arthritis medicine or something that I was talking about? One person said that they actually use it. So I found, I was like, "Oh, really?" And they said, "Yeah." So I'm gonna give them like the whole bunch, and there's actually a use for it. And they said they didn't really care that it expires in January 2021 because it helps them with their rheumatoid arthritis. So it works out really, really well. No, I didn't buy it. My family owns it. My family owns a $500,000 place. It's like, okay, it's not 500,000. It's like 450, 480,000. Okay, but it's close. It's close. So, but you cannot, don't expect people to be able to afford those kind of places now, because it's the price of housing in Hawaii is ridiculous. So, if you're making something like, let's say, $50,000 a year, you're gonna have a really hard time affording stuff. Yeah, official. Can you like lay off the? Can you lay off the emojis, because it's getting a little heavy. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so people in Hawaii, they tend to be pretty frugal. If you are not frugal, you will rack up debt really quickly. Okay, so um, that is, and we don't have Dollar Tree. I mean, like, we don't have Dollar Tree in Hawaii. We don't have Family Dollar. We used to have like a 99-cent store, but it basically turned into like the $1.99 store, cause frickin' Hawaii. So yeah, it's harder to save money in Hawaii, but we got good weather, and that's about it. We got good weather, and we don't got no seams. Oh my gosh, I still see no seams. I saw no seams today, by the way, and I'm still like covered up. I really worried about how things are gonna be in the summertime, because freaking me and no seams, we just aren't getting along. These no seams are coming from the outside, 100%, because I've seen them on the outside. I remember we pulled out the AC, and you know what happened? Once I pulled out the AC, guess what I saw outside waiting for me? A no-see-um. Yeah. It was just hanging out there, outside, chillaxing. We got ladybugs who try to come into this apartment too. A few of them do, and they die because they can't get their way out. And I'm like, oh, freaking bugs coming in. Like, why are these no-see-ums coming in? We don't live on the ground floor at all. It's like they just like chillaxing over here. So, yeah, the no-see-ums, the ladybugs. It's not good. I don't know why they're coming into this place, but I imagine they're coming in because the windows suck. We can concurrently agree that the windows blow in this apartment. They are not great. They are made terribly. If I could, I would replace all the windows. No, even if we close the freaking window, listen to this. Even if we close the freaking windows, the no-see-ums can get in because there's little air gaps. Yeah, one of the windows has like a half-inch gap between the two windows. So you got like one window over here, and then it slides up and down. This window is like half an inch away from this window. And even if you try to put it flush, because of the frame, it's like half an inch. It's like, it just sucks. It sucks. It's like the window frame warped or something. So I tried taping it up with like masking tape or something like that. Still, the no-see-ums can get in. It just sucks. It sucks. It blows. Let's just come to that conclusion. It blows. So no-see-ums. They're called no-see-ums / biting midges, aka nightmares. They're biting nightmares. If you guys ever have no-see-ums, it's just terrible. Like, I miss being able to wear shorts around the apartment. When it was not so freaking cold. But I miss being able to wear short sleeves around the apartment. Now I'm sleeping with long sleeves or a long jacket. Yeah, I always make sure I'm covered up, and it just sucks. It sucks. Is he alive? Let's poke the cat. I guess he is so lazy he can't even move his paw. Oreo, can you? Oreo, we need proof that you're alive, Oreo. Okay, you guys, it looks like Oreo does not want to confirm if he is alive or dead, but if you look really closely, you can see that he's breathing. Oh, look, an influencer came home.
Crazy.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Alright. I'll talk to you later.
Oh.
Thanks for the conversation. Good night, Patricia. Good night. Bye. Okay.
Influencer's home. So I will talk to you guys later. I'm just folding laundry. Hey, people were asking if Oreo was alive or not, and you just confirmed Oreo is alive.
Why?
Why?
Why
He
is
moved.
alive?
He moved.
Why is he alive?
He lives for you.
Just gotta find something else to live for.
No, he lives for you.
So, Andrea today,
Oh, cool. How is she?
she's talking about all the idiots she has to supervise at the hospital. I asked, what do they make? And she goes, 40. I goes, oh, $40 isn't bad. She goes, no, 40,000 a year. And I said, oh, and you expect them to be able to tell how much blood people need? Are you kidding me? She said, yeah, like I tell her 300 milliliter. And she then asked me 10 minutes later how much blood. And I say, why don't you write it down? I'm not the parrot. I'm not here to repeat. Write it down. You still streaming?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you
anyway.
want me to end the stream?
They can hear me badmouth everybody at the hospital. So she tells me,
Okay.
you know, I don't know how much, they don't know how much blood to take. And I said, listen, if I was your employee, this would be the easiest shit in the world. I don't know how much blood to take. I'd rather take more rather than less. And she goes, no, you can't do that. And I go, why not? You can't take too much blood. That's bad for the person. And I said, what, they don't have red blood cells? They can't produce more?
Well,
So I take 600 milliliters instead of 3. She goes, what if you need to take it again? I said, then I take another 600. And she goes, then they faint. And it's like, great. And they,
How much-
that's recurring revenue, another customer.
how much ounces is 600 milliliters?
I don't know. But listen, if I didn't know how much blood to take, I would take as much as I could from that bitch. And I'll tell them, here, have some beet juice.
What?
You
No.
gotta take out of it. No, but the thing is, she's in the worst position in the world. She's a supervisor, but they're union, so she can't fire them. So she has to manage a moron, but she can't fire a moron because you're not allowed. That's horrible. That's fucking horrible. Like having all the power to, none of the power and all the responsibility. All the responsibility to be accountable for a moron, but none of the power to let them go. That I couldn't do.
You know what you are not holding into account though? You can actually write people up when they are union. No, seriously, it's not like you're untouchable if you're union. You just got to go through a process.
Yeah, it takes forever.
Yeah, it can take a while, but it's not like she's powerless.
You know how long it takes a roster repair?
Huh?
You know how we fire people?
How?
It's just like this. Watch. Listen, it's been great having you here. Your services are no longer needed.
What?
Get the fuck out.
No.
And then you pick them up, and then you
What?
toss them.
No.
And look,
Why did you move
Everybody,
Oreo?
there's a job opening here at Rossman Repair. There's a job opening. We need an intelligent cat that's in shape, that can jump. See? There's a job opening. And if another cat comes along, we literally
Looks
just
like that cat
replace.
doesn't want the idea.
We take the cat,
What?
we
No.
take a new cat, and it's that easy. It's that easy
Looks
to
like they're
replace
forfeiting
them.
their position. Oreo, come over here.
But see what happens when you have to deal with unions?
Can
It's
you take
horrible.
off your shoes?
Maybe.
Come on. Oreo, come over here.
The day Rossman Repair becomes union is the day that I retire. Oh God, that would suck.
What?
She spent half an hour telling me stories about all these jackasses. I don't ever want to go to a fucking hospital. The morons that you have dealing that treating you, poking you, putting needles in you. I wouldn't trust these people to feed Oreo.
What?
And they get paid less than Kevin. The people that are drawing your blood, testing your blood, dealing with your
I know.
health at a hospital get paid less than I pay my fucking receptionist.
Yeah, lab people in Hawaii for like clinical labs, they're starting as like about $14.75 or so. I know
pay
that.
Kevin almost twice that. And he's a bro that gets drunk at like every other night of the week and comes to work in sweatpants.
Anyway, yeah, people who work in like labs and stuff and drawing bloods, they don't make that much money. You would think they do, but they really don't. Does Oreo get a $600 stimulus check?
Okay?
What? What? What do you mean?
That's a moral hazard.
Moral
He
hazard?
was never employed.
What? Now you're hiring people off the books?
He has to be a taxpayer to be accountable for the stimulus.
What? No. He is. He's a dependent.
Never paid a tax.
Yeah, but he's a dependent. He's under your taxes. He's listed as child. Adopted child. How's that? What do you think? Oreo's a contractor? Yeah, I think he's a contractor. Oh, look at that handsome cat. Oreo, come over here, Oreo. Oreo, come over here.
That place I like makes a keto version of what I ate. They replaced the rice with this quinoa thing.
Oh, cool.
Look, see?
What?
What do you see on screen?
What?
What do you see on screen? On your screen.
What about it? What do I see?
That's what every place should be like. You take the person that doesn't work, you toss them out, and 90 seconds later, a scab comes in to replace him.
No, that's not how you do Oreo. Come on now. I don't know why you treat Oreo like he's an unloved child.
He's not an unloved child. He's an unloved adult.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's your cat. I don't know why you always make him the butt of all these jokes. That's not nice to him. You know, all he wants to do is just be loved by you. And he tries really hard. I mean, minus his, minus he's not good at, certain things, huh?
Here, Oreo. Here, Oreo.
Yeah, look at that poor face. Oh.
He's really trying.
He's sad because you kicked him out from his property.
Not his property, that was Mr.
No, that's his property. He was on there. Oh.
Here.
What?
Good for you.
Oreo's like, this is awkward. And I'm going back to folding socks, you guys. I know. Look at that. Oreo's like, what keeps going on?
Oreo.
Oreo's like, it's a trap. Oh, yep. Reclaim that property, Oreo cat. Good for you, Oreo. Take that property back.
Oreo. Come here.
Oh, whoops.
Who's my Oreo?
Oreo's like, this is a trap.
Hi.
This is not normal.
He's my Oreo.
He is. So are you ready to stream more with Oreo now? Because, Oreo is now an influencer.
No, here's the ratings of the
It
channel.
does not hurt the ratings.
I need to get to 2 million subscribers so that
2
I can
million?
get rid of Tim Cook. I have to destroy your Apple stock.
Oh, did you see how my Apple stock went up some...
I don't want to hear it. I'm so pissed.
Why? Why are you
I'm
pissed?
so pissed about my ICLN. I'm so salty. Every time I even see a stock market chart,
You know
I
what the
want to
thing...
cry.
Okay.
I missed out on $45,000 by selling out of that too soon.
Here you
That
go.
makes me sick.
Okay, here you guys, okay? I told him to get ICLN, right? I told him to hold on. I told him to buy into it. And I gave him a list of stocks that I think he should buy and he should hold. Just hold. Don't do anything, just hold. And yeah, he decided to sell out.
But selling yours to go all in on ICLN was the right thing to do, because ICLN went up way more than the ones you recommended me. However, selling out of I found FSLR and ICLN from you told me about ICLN. Bloomberg told me about FSLR, which led me to ICLN as well as you. But the problem is, here's what happens: it went from $10 to $23 in less than a year, and it's been at $10 for over a decade. So every time it would go down, I would think, "Oh my God, it's going back to $10."
That's right. You know what the problem is? Is like the problem is like when you hold on to a stock, you freak out if it goes down 1 or 2%. But stocks always go up and down and up and down and up and down.
I freak out when they spend 10 to 15 years here, and then randomly just double when the income of the company is held in the ITF has not actually gone.
That freaks me out.
Yeah, but you just roll with the punches. It's not like it's gonna dramatically go down.
Well, it did. It went down from $80 to $10 in 2009 and 10. Like, everybody was so excited. Look, Obama got elected. Obama's going to bring in the oasis of clean energy. And then, oh, never mind. It didn't happen.
Yeah, but Biden hasn't even gotten he hasn't gotten in office yet. My bad. He hasn't gotten in office yet. So, you know, if ICLN goes down, it's not going to be very much. And I think that ICLN is going to go higher than go lower. Like, yeah, you're going to have like the up, down, up, down, up, down. But I think you're going to see like it go slowly going upwards.
Possibly.
Kind of similar to, you know, an Apple stock. So, Apple stock, I have enough profit right now. I didn't invest that much in it, but I have enough profit that it paid off Clio. And my next milestone will be paying off my next computer. So my thinking is, and I shared it with my community post, is this: invest in Apple stock, use profit from Apple stock, buy next computer, next MacBook, and then money from MacBook feeds into Apple stock, and it just goes.
How does money from MacBook feed into Apple stock? Because MacBook does not bring in income.
It brings in
MacBook
something.
is expense.
It brings in something.
Yeah, you said money from MacBook feeds into Apple stock.
Yeah.
How does that feed into?
I buy the MacBook, and it will help Apple sales figure, and then
You're just being ridiculous.
it's just growing. What? It's like recycling, you know? Money go in, wait for money go up, buy MacBook, money go more up.
Yep.
And
That MacBook is probably made in India by Wistron.
Huh?
That person who made your MacBook probably got paid $6.74 a month.
Yeah, but I'm saying the stock price of Apple is gonna go up.
Yeah, because somebody in Wistron get paid $6.74.
But you know what the thing is? You cannot deny it. As Apple increases their product line, right? Right now they got the HomePod or something like that. They got the AirPods. They got the AirPods Pro, iPad, MacBook, iPhone.
Once I hit 5 million subscribers, I am going to get noticed by the Department of Justice, who is going to break Apple up into 3 separate companies, destroying their stock price, therefore destroying Erica.
So, wait, hold up a second. You're going to get 5 million subscribers, and then you're going to tell these 5 million subscribers to break up Apple?
No, then the Department of Justice will notice me. Then I'll be able to, or either the Department of Justice, or I forget, what was it, the committee in June?
So how about this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you collaborate with Eli, the computer guy? Well, together, you're like you're like halfway there, right? 2.5 million subscribers with the both of you. See if you can make any leeway on
Here's the problem,
what?
America. The problem is I need to get to 5 million subscribers so that people notice me, so that the House Judiciary Committee notices me, so that I can finally get Apple broken up. The thing is, Oreo fucks up my viewer engagement in my videos. So if you keep including me next to him in videos on my main channel, as you keep doing by sneaking him in place, you will ruin that.
You're ruining the algorithm.
Huh? But just mark my words. Once I get to 5 million subscribers, I will destroy Apple stock.
You're going to destroy Apple stock.
I will destroy Apple stock the way that Oreo destroys my viewer engagement on my main channel.
Okay, so question. If you're so confident that, why don't you, because you're halfway there with Eli, why don't you and Eli collaborate to take down Apple right now? And I'll see if I see anything on Gizmodo.com or, you know,
Eli is not a friend of the
Mac Rumors or something like that. I'll see if I see both of you on there.
Eli is not a friend of the algorithm, Erica.
Why? He has over 1 million subscribers. Come on now.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He has like 1,000.
No, he has 1 million.
No, that's a glitch in the surface.
A glitch.
So if you look at the amount of people that watch your shit, he has 1,000 subscribers.
Okay.
Probably less.
What?
Look at Oreo. Isn't he cute?
I know.
I don't know why she's so mean to you all the time.
I mean, you're the one who treats him like, you know.
Listen, I'm nice to him where it counts. It doesn't matter what I say to him. It doesn't matter how I make fun of him. What matters is that I open a can 3 times a day.
You open the can. No. You don't open any cans of cat food. I know you don't open any cans of cat food.
I used to open 3 cans a day. And then you stole that job from me, and then you started opening 2. So you can say all the nice words you want about Oreo, but we know that you're a jackbooted fascist that would starve him to death given the chance.
Starve him?
With only 2 cans of food a day. Jackbooted fascist. I feed Oreo 3 cans a day. That's why Oreo loves. Look at his head.
Oh jeez. What?
Look at how fast he got up.
That was like a power squat right there. Because there are people that squat slow and then go up, but then there's the people that go. He power squatted right there.
Yeah, I mean these are like big cans of food too. But no.
Yeah, but that's also a big can of Oreo.
Big can of Oreo. Nobody would think Oreo needs to gain more weight.
That's a big can of Oreo right there.
Those cats eat. You know what? If you feed them 5 cans a day, they will eat 5 cans a day. Because it's like if they have nothing to do, they're just gonna start eating food. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, look at this. Tup Tup. Come over here, Tup Tup. Oreo, come here. Look at that. Oreo feels. Come on, handsome. Come here. Come on. We need to get you to 1 million subscribers, Oreo, so you can help my stock price.
You really think that cat's gonna help your stocks?
Yes.
How?
Easy. I got a good idea.
Explain your theory.
Okay, here's my theory, okay?
Explain the monetary theory of Oreo.
Okay, here's my theory. This is what you do, okay? You gotta just have the cat on stream. And then after you have the cat on stream, you gotta be like, you know what? Do you want to be as cute and cuddly as Oreo? Well, if you sleep all day, you just need one thing to do. You need to have your iPhone. So you can be lazy. And while you're lazy, make sure you got your iMessage on so you can stay connected and check out really cool things and stay connected. See, look. See, this is how Oreo would watch your stream. See, he doesn't even have to move. He can watch it from his iPhone. And yeah, so it's like a work in progress. But you know what? Even if I fail, I know Apple stock price is going to go up. I'm not worried about it at all.
I'm gonna kill that Apple stock price.
You are not.
I'm gonna kill it.
I'm gonna do you know what? When Apple goes up and I can buy the M1 laptop with my profits, because I didn't put that much money in Apple. Okay, I have a lot of my money held up on JD and Amazon.
I'm gonna stream when you apply for food stamps after your stock goes down to nothing.
What? What's gonna go down?
Apple.
Apple?
When Erica makes her lost porn post on Wall Street Bets, I invested in Apple and now it's $2 a share.
$2 a share. Oh crap! Hold
Can
up.
you post your Wall Street Bets lost porn? Do you know what lost porn is? Eric?
Man, they must have had to dilute those shares a lot to make it down to $2 a share. No, Apple's not going to get down that low. I know it's not going to get. Right now, it's at like what? How much is Apple stock right now? I keep forgetting because they did that split share.
128.
No, it's like higher than that. What is the 207? I forgot what it was. I forgot what the price of Apple is. I keep getting mixed up. Like I know JD's around 80 right now, and I know Amazon's around 3,200 right now, and I know
208.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then I know Tesla went down 6% today, but I can't remember the exact price of Apple because just too much numbers in my head. 128. Okay. Oh yeah, 128, 127, 128. Yeah. So anyway, when Apple goes up, and we'll see. You know, I was telling people on my stream that they got a really genius move that they're playing right now, because if they're making their own chips, right, they're closing off the supply chain. People are gonna say, hey, you wanna upgrade your, let's say your Apple Watch broke. Yeah, well, we're the only people supplying parts to the Apple Watch, or it's not feasible for you to get it repaired because.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
You're
Apple Watch?
investing in the company based on them not being repairable as a selling point.
Huh?
I should have.
No, I'm just saying. No, but
Literally, you're supporting them based on the fact that their products will be unrepairable.
No, but I'm saying that that's their game plan moving forward. That's why.
You're encouraging people to invest in their stock and own their company solely based on the fact that they're not going to let people fix their shit.
No, but what I'm saying is that they're making a lot of their own stuff, right? Like the M1 chip, that's what their own creation. You cannot buy it from another third party. They're doing a lot of stuff in house, right? So when they're closing off supply chains like that, it's causing it will be like, okay, like I said, the Apple Watch, right? or iWatch or whatever you call it, right? What's it called, the Apple Watch? If people want to get that fixed, like where the hell are you gonna buy your? How many people or how many repair shops are gonna have the front display of the watch? Do you have the front display of an Apple Watch?
No,
Why not?
I don't think it's a profitable repair.
See, he doesn't think it's a profitable repair because, but see, those watches, like if those things break, people are gonna go over to Apple and get it fixed, and if it's not if it's cost prohibitive, they're gonna say, yeah, well, yeah, unfortunately, it's gonna cost like 75% of the price of a new one, so you're probably better off buying a new one. And then people are gonna say, but I love my Apple Watch so much, I'm gonna buy it. Right? That's how they get you, like those AirPods. Like, how many places are gonna fix those little things, right? Those little $200 earbud things. Maybe Apple fixes it. I don't know. Maybe they have like AirPod Plus. I don't know. App AirPod Care Plus. I don't know what they have over there, but you know, it's like having those little small like value items. It just adds up.
It's
Huh?
time for you to go date Tim Cook.
Date Tim Cook?
I think it's
No.
time for you to go date Tim Cook.
Why? I'm just saying. I'm just commenting on the way I'm seeing things happening right now. So they got all these like different product lines. They got the
That's what she's trying to do,
AirPods.
Steve K. That's exactly what she's trying to do, Steve K.
Oh, whatever. He's not gonna. He doesn't have a business fixing Apple Watches, right? Apple Watches. He even said it doesn't have that much profit
And if
margin.
she had her way, I never would.
What? You would never what?
If she had her way, I never would.
Oh, they do have Apple Care for watches and AirPods. See, so it's like low value things, right? And then they're able to like have money because people buy insurance on that stuff because they're conditioned with their MacBook or their iPad to buy the Apple Care stuff on it. So from Apple, from what I see on Apple's standpoint, it is really a brilliant decision to have all these like cheaper price points, and it goes with your higher price items, and then you have this ecosystem because everything feeds off of each other, right? Your Apple Watch works with your iPhone, and then your iPhone has the same like iCloud, or you know, it can transfer things with your MacBook or your iPad. And once you get hooked onto an ecosystem like that, like I don't have an Apple Watch, okay? You know, I don't have it in the HomePod stuff. I have no desire to get that sort of stuff. But I can imagine it's very hard for people to wanting to transition outwards. Like if someone didn't want to have the Apple Watch and the MacBook and the iPad and the iPhone, what company can do something similar? What is that? Samsung? Is that really just Samsung? Like, does anyone want to get like a Samsung Galaxy over an iPad? Like, nobody wants to get that stuff. If you can afford an iPad, you will get the damn iPad. No, I don't know anybody who'll be like, man, I really want the Galaxy over the iPad. You see what I'm saying?
The Surface is doing well among professionals.
Yeah, but do people also get like a Surface, I don't know, Surface phone? Because like Apple has their whole ecosystem, right? You can get the iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, HomePod. Is there anything across the board that's kind of similar? Besides maybe like Google, because Google got that Chrome boxing with their Google Pixel phone. But either way, it's like, you know, you got more people who's in the Apple ecosystem than the Samsung ecosystem or the Google ecosystem. I don't know anybody with the Google Pixel phone.
Ecosystems are a scam. Ecosystems are a scam.
No, but it's convenient. It's convenient as hell. That's why people do it, right? They like it. They like having things like kind of go from one thing to another. I'm not part of that ecosystem. I don't have a watch that connects to a phone and a HomePod, but other people do, and they like being connected. I remember I was watching the Apple events, and I was looking at it, and I was kind of like, wow, geez, that is something. Yeah, you can communicate with people and talk and have like talk from your car, and then it'll go off in your HomePod or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a intercom system or so, or send a message to someone. I was like, oh, that is pretty cool. I have zero use for it, but I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm sure that it appealed to other people as well. So the more this stuff occurs, you're gonna see people, if they get one product, that's gonna be their stepping stone into another product, and then when they get that second product, they're gonna get a third product. So that's why, What? That's why I think that like people, if they get someone something for Christmas, What are you doing? If they get like, let's say they say, hey,
This isn't chloroform.
huh?
This is not chloroform. This is a box.
Yeah, I don't want to get any of those HomePod things or those Amazon Alexa stuff. I don't feel comfortable with that stuff. I don't want any of this whole like Alexa, please order granola for me or something like that. I think it's kind of scary because it's gonna always be tuned in, right? That's a little too freaky for me. So if I want to order something, I'll just
Siri, how much for a one-way ticket back to Hawaii?
Siri says, "Not today, Buster." So yeah.
Some things your ecosystem can't protect you from,
What?
like cold hand. I don't feel comfortable with Alexa either. Yeah, I don't want Amazon employees listening.
I think Alexa's only like $30, right? $30 now.
I have no
They
idea.
made it cheaper. But I have zero desire to get it even if it was free.
I have no interest in a product that's always listening to me.
I know.
There's enough shit that's probably already always listening to me that shouldn't be always listening to me, that I don't know is always listening to me, but I'm not gonna fucking consent to it. You're not gonna normalize it.
I can say now.
Either way,
I'd be like, Alexa, can you tell me how Oreo can
I'm
can
gonna
rule
destroy
the
Apple's
YouTube
stock price.
algorithm?
Give
Huh?
it enough time and I'm gonna destroy Apple's stock price.
Destroy?
Yes.
Destroy upwards or destroy downwards?
Destroy
Because I think
downwards.
I gotta destroy it upwards. What?
I destroy their stock.
You know, the easiest thing, like I said, the easiest thing they can do is just produce more complementary products. I want to see them. They already have the headphones. They got the what? Does Apple make Beats? They do, right?
Disgusting.
They do, right? So there's Apple Beats, and then they got the AirPods, or this, you know what I'm talking about. And I can't think of anything else that they can expand to except making a rocket or making a car. Like, can you imagine if Apple made their own car? That would be like a silver,
Are you kidding me?
a silver car.
If they made a fucking car, the shit would the acceleration pedal would get stuck like 13 months in.
No.
If they made a car, the steering wheel would only work when you turned it in a certain direction, like the flex gate. And
That would be the sleekest looking car. It'd be like I think it would kind of look like the Magic Mouse.
The number of people that would die if Apple made a car.
What? No.
They can't engineer shit. Like what Elon Musk said, Apple hires the engineers that we fire.
There was a news report about Apple making an electric car to making the self-driving portion. Siri, can you take me to Trader Joe's? Yes, Erica, taking you there right now. Oh my goodness! I'd be like, ah! Oh, that would be nice. Oh, that would be great.
There'd be no more Erica.
What?
Crash into a pole.
I could what?
You would crash into a pole and you'd
Siri,
be dead.
what time am I gonna get to Trader Joe's? You're gonna get there within 36 minutes. That would be great. That would be nice. Or Siri I could be like, Siri, can you play my music? And then I have Erica's playlist, which is full of Bieber and
If it's
Shawn
on
Mendes.
AirPods, you'd be out of it.
What?
Idiotic for sure.
What? I mean, like, I would, like, if they had an Apple car, I would like to sit in that Apple car, have it go down the street, and play Justin Bieber's Yummy. Yeah. You know that song? You know which song I'm talking about, Justin Bieber's Yummy?
Why are you so basic?
I'm not
Why are
basic.
you
I
so
love
basic?
Bieber. I love Bieber.
Can you try to be less basic?
I love
Can you
Bieber.
pretend for me?
What should I listen to? Opera? I'm not gonna listen to opera. I love my
Anything
pop.
else? Even other
I love
pop.
Bieber.
Give me some Earth, Wind, and Fire or something.
No, I don't want to listen to that. I
Some
like
other type of
Bieber.
pop.
I like Bieber. Huh? No, it's catchy. Listen to Justin Bieber's Yummy and it'll just grow on you. Like in the middle of the night, I can hear it in my head. I'm like,
That shit lowers your IQ.
no, it doesn't. But yeah, that would be great if if Apple made a car and then there's like a big like on the side of the door or something, or on the front of it has like this big Apple logo and it illuminates. Can you imagine that? Like it just illuminates that way or something. That would be something where it sparkles. That would be. Yeah, I hope they make a silver like space gray car or something. That would be nice. I would be a big fan of that. And yeah, maybe they'll come up with something great. Earth, Wind and Fire, Apple, and Oreo. Well,
I can't find my phone.
huh? If Apple ever gets in the rocket business or self-driving car business, you know, I'm gonna be cheering on. I'm like, yeah, self-driving Apple car, woohoo! Again. I guess they did it before. What? You want me to call you? Oh crap! I have my phone streaming.
I don't know where I put the phone.
It's probably in your pocket. It's in your pocket. Should I check? Yeah, it's probably in your back pocket. It's okay if it limits me to 55 miles an hour. I don't drive past speed limit. Yeah.
You drive like a grandma.
I do drive like a grandma. That's why the Apple car would work for me. Can you see it now? What? I'm like, Siri, can you take me to my most important place? Taking you to Starbucks right now. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I would be very happy about that. Okay. Let's see. Oreo, you gotta make my Apple stock price go up. Okay, there we go. Got front view of Oreo here. But yeah, I think that would be pretty nice. I just hope Apple stock price continues to go up. Just saying. I don't see it going down. I touched on that on my community post. If people give other people the gift of Apple products, you're creating more Apple users. Let's just face it. That's what you're doing. Because people are going to say, oh, thank you for the iPhone. I'm going to get the EarPods now. And you get the EarPods. Oh, yeah, I need a computer. Maybe I should get the MacBook too. So that would be, it just goes on. And I didn't realize it until I wrote that community post. Like, I started with my MacBook. And then I got the iMac. And after I got the iMac, I believe I got the iTouch after that. And then after the iTouch, I picked up an iPhone, and that's it. Like, that is it. So, yeah, just kind of, I thought about getting, like, earphones. I thought about getting Beats. I thought about getting, like, I don't really like the look of the AirPods too much. I think they look like Q-tips, so I'm not a big fan of them.
Grado SR60s.
Huh?
Get instead of Grado SR60.
What is that?
It's a quality headphone.
I never heard of that in my life. I never saw Dr. Dre with them on.
Dr. Dre, these headphones suck. They sound like shit. It's all advertising and no research. Buy Sennheiser.
Jim, if they...
Sennheiser, Grado, Bayer Dynamic. These are brands, not basic shit.
Jim, if Apple made a toilet, it would be the sleekest, nicest toilet ever. But, no see him.
Lighter.
I just saw a little no-see-em. This freaking no-see-em. Yeah, I don't know where the hell these no-see-ems are coming from. So, but anyway, they're coming somewhere. Anyway. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm gonna get going, you guys. But it was nice talking to you all. And yeah, we will see. We will see what happens with Apple stock price. We'll see what happens in a month. I think I don't know when their next earnings is, but I know Amazon. I like to think Amazon's gonna hit it out of the ballpark after holiday season. I like to think JD's gonna hit it out of the ballpark. Apple, I think it's just gonna go up. I think even if they go down, it'll just be temporary, and you don't really have much to worry about it. The stock price, I know it went up like, I think 3% today. I expect it to go back down a little, but it won't go down too much if it does. You know, that's the way stocks go, right? It goes like up, down, up, down, up, down. But if you don't buy sometimes, right? It's like you see up, down, and you think like, oh, okay, what's the big deal? Up, down, up, down. And then you go back like 1 month later and goes all the way up there. So I really regret not buying Apple stock sooner. When I had my stock portfolio, I made that in like late 2017. I bought most of my portfolio around like late 2017/early 2018. I didn't add Apple because I thought to myself, I think it's like $155, $175 around there a share. This was before the split. But I remember, yeah, was there a split for Apple? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, I think there was. But anyway, wait, was there? I can't remember. I'm confusing it with Tesla. But anyway, I remember when I bought it, I thought to myself, oh, okay, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's just gonna go up, it's gonna go down. It's not gonna grow that much, right? And then I ended up eating my words. And gosh, if I had bought Apple back in 2017, early 2018, I could have bought the Clio and the M1 with that little amount of money that I had vested in. But live and learn. I paid for Clio, but I have to set my sights on getting the newest MacBook, and I'm sure my stock will go up. It'll just be a matter of time. And oh, look, someone in my chat has an M1 MacBook Air. I use it for my software engineer career building Apple apps. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Huh?
He bought an Apple to use it to code Apple, to work at Apple. Are you kidding me? He made that up.
Building Apple apps, who knows? But anyway, you know what? I hope that MacBook Air worked for you. I don't know if I want to get the Air or if I want to get the Pro. I haven't seen both of them. The way that I use for electronics is I like to see them in person. So I don't want to say like, yeah, I want to get it, and then I look at it in person. I don't really like it. I need to have something that jibes with me. It's one of the reasons why I like Clio so much. I just like how Clio looks, even though she's getting slow and laggy, and she looks like she's seen better days. I just like how Clio looks. I like her heft. I like her keyboard. I like her top case. I like everything about Clio. So sometimes seeing these like newer MacBooks and how thin they are, I'm like, it's a little unnerving because I feel like if I drop it, it's dead. It's gonna be dead. So, yeah, I guess Clio. Do you think Clio is like Oreo? Slow, sometimes laggy, very affectionate.
I would never compare Oreo to an Apple product. That's being too mean.
Why? He's been repaired.
Oreo
He is kind of costly. He is a costly cat.
He may be slow, obsolete, overpriced, and fairly useless, but he's not as bad as an Apple product.
Did you hear that, Oreo? He loves you more than Apple. He thinks you're more useful than an Apple product. That means you're incredibly useful, because you know how much I use my MacBook Air every day. Look at that guy. That is a compliment of the highest regard. Oh, out. Yeah. So, yeah, I just think about that kind of stuff, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'll check back with you guys in about a month, and I will see how this thing goes, and hopefully we'll see how this thing goes. And what would that be, like late? Like January? I think January the stock's gonna go up, so for sure it's gonna go up. I think February will go down, but yeah, in January, late January, the stock price should be higher than it is now, and we will see how high it goes. Maybe I think Tesla's gonna go higher, but yeah, I'm too scared to invest in Tesla. I bought QQQ.
That sounds like a bunch of tears.
QQQ. Yeah, it was like tears because Apple stock.
QQQ is what I saw when
QQQ.
ICLN went up $3 after I sold
Huh?
it. QQQ is how I felt when ICLN went up $3 or $5.
No, well, QQQ is gonna do quite well. I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna use the diamond hands on it. I'm not worried about it at all. It's just a matter of time, and it has like a small little dividend, so that's a nice little topper. But I didn't feel comfortable investing all in one stock. I had like a little bit that I felt comfortable putting in, and I said, let me just put in QQQ rather than Apple. But Apple went up today. QQQ only went up like not very much. QQQ went up like, I think it might have even gone down like.
You're gonna QQQ a lot when I destroy Apple stock. You're going to QQQQQQ.
QQQQQ?
You're gonna have a lot of Qs, Erica, when I destroy the Apple stock.
No, QQQ. No, QQQ is going to go up. Apple's going to go up, and I will be very, very happy about it.
Someone sent me 1337 Dogecoin.
Oh.
Oh, look, I'm not kidding.
What?
Look. Someone sent me 1337 Dogecoin.
Okay, cool. So
You know what 1337 means?
what does that mean?
You don't know what 1337 means?
What does it mean? Can you tell me?
You beats using Apple user.
What? I don't know. What is it? Can you tell me?
What is it? It's LEET, as in elite.
Elite?
Elite. It's elite, spelled in leet speak, as in numbers.
What? Leet?
Leet.
L-E-E-T?
Yeah, the L. 7
it.
is an L.
Okay.
The two threes are E's.
Okay.
And
Oh.
actually, no, the 1 is an L.
Okay.
And the 2 threes are E's. And the 7 is a T. It
what
spells
the hell?
leet.
What the
like
hell does
elite.
leet mean? What does that mean?
Elite. Like elite. Like people who use ThinkPads are elite, as in contrast to Apple users.
What? No way.
Mm-hmm.
No
We
way.
Win more.
You win more.
Yep, that's right. We
No
win
way. No way. You don't win more.
more. Oh, we
You don't win
We're
more.
always winning. We always win.
You always win? With
Uh-huh.
what? Your plastic brick?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
It's not plastic. It's
You know what?
carbon
You know what?
fiber.
I got an idea. Instead of having a Apple MacBook repair shop, why don't you have a Lenovo repair shop? And you tell me how good that works.
Well, it wouldn't because they don't break. So I'd have
You
no
know
business.
why? You know why? Because people don't buy them. That's why.
Nope, they have a lot of sale.
Yeah.
Many sale.
Many sale.
Many sale.
Many
Much
sale. I don't know. I don't think about that. Who the hell is buying Lenovo's? Okay, maybe businesses. Maybe boring
People that actually need
companies.
to do stuff. The International Space Station. They used to buy the ThinkPads. They used to use. That was the only laptop
You know
using
what?
the
You
International
know what?
Space Station was the
need,
ThinkPad.
we need to have a MacBook on the ThinkPad. I mean, the ThinkPad on the space
Are you
station.
fucking kidding? They're gonna die. They're gonna wind
Huh?
up navigate. The shit's gonna crash. It's gonna get FlexGate. They won't be able to see the screen. They'll navigate and they'll
But
crash
you know
into
what?
Venus.
Do you know what will be there? The pretty colors. Can you imagine? You'll see it like the Apple ads. You know when you see the Apple ads and they kind of go like this. Can you imagine that? Like how cool that
Never
would
be an
be?
astronaut.
That would be cool as hell. And
Never
I
be
bet
an
you
a-
all the people would be like, I want to be in space. What?
I fear for the day that you become an astronaut.
If I'm an
replace
astronaut-
the ThinkPad with an MacBook,
You know what I'm gonna do?
and then it dies, and then you're trying to get back home, and you go, ah!
Okay,
You
no.
crash into
You know what
Cuba.
I would do? Okay, this is what I would do. I would have, if I was an astronaut, I would have flipped my iPhone, and it would just flip like that, and I'd be like, "See, this is what you can do in
You're
space.
gonna wind up landing in Hawaii.
We're gonna give this to the aliens."
You're gonna crash into Hawaii, and your little dot is gonna sink into the ocean, and it won't exist anymore.
What? No, my little dot's not gonna shrink.
Your little dot is gonna go from being a dot to a nothing after you crash into it.
Lenovo sold 67 million computers in 2019. How come I don't see them? I don't see people with Lenovo computers out in public.
Because you live in New York, which is the city where everybody's an Apple sheep.
I live in New York where people are innovative and they like to be forward thinking. So they like to think different.
Everybody does the same shit as everybody else.
Huh? I'm just waiting. Hey, wait, hold up a second. Can you imagine if Tesla, they bring on Apple computers on Tesla? Oh, that would be nice. Oh, that would be really nice, actually. Waiting for that. And if that happens, I will pop some popcorn and celebrate eating popcorn and maybe with my M1 MacBook Pro or something. We will see. Anyway, you guys, I will talk to you guys later. I know I said that 3 million times, but I'm really gonna go. See ya.